Alrighty, well today is the day that we're going to try to get this beauty running. Now, previous owner told me that it needs a starter, it needs a battery, and it needs a carburetor. So we're going to try to tackle all that in today's video and see if we can get this thing running and possibly go for a test drive. I quickly got a starter in there. This is just a starter, backup starter that I had in my garage. So I threw that in there. Hopefully it's good now. But from the sound that it was making prior to this, I think that the flywheel is somehow stripped or a couple teeth are missing or something, because the old starter that was on here was only held on by one bolt and it was loose. So whenever you would crank, the starter would probably bounce around and chew up the flywheel teeth. And so this flywheel is probably done, but it'll at least be able to start for a couple more times and we should be good for today. Turns out there's no gas, so I'm going to quickly go get some 5 gallons and hope that gets it at least to fire up for a little. It's probably going to run very rough. I don't think that the motor is healthy at all, but I'd like to hear it run, possibly try to drive it around the block if I can. Let's go. Peep that Sunbro garage sticker. Blew the freaking lid right off of it. Nice. So from the looks of it, I think that the fuel pump took a shit on us. Now, not very unlikely, so I'm gonna go buy one real quick. It's only 50 bucks. I could buy it cheaper online, but they have it in stock, so I'm gonna go pick that up real quick. And from the looks of it, I'm getting power. It works, but for whatever reason, it sounds like the fuel that I put in there is like splashing in the gas tank. So I think it's sucking it up, but it can't hold the pressure, so it just dumps it back in. And that's kind of what I think it's happening, because that's what was happening with that truck when I was trying to get it running. Fuck yeah, I can't believe it fired up. There is some shit in the carb that we had to clean out, but shout out to Jose over here for coming in clutch and helping us. Yeah, there is some stuff in here, so we weren't getting any fuel to the bowl. We ended up cleaning that out, and we had to put a new fuel pump, but now it seems to run. It's leaking a bunch of gas, but we're still gonna go around the block, because how can we not? Since it's been sitting for about close to 4 years now, I'm surprised that it fired up and it ran that easy. And I'm also surprised that I didn't hear any valve noise. I didn't hear any weird knocks. I didn't hear the chain rattle. I didn't hear any of that, which is typical stuff that you hear on a Z-Series motor, especially one that has a lot of miles. I don't know how many miles are on this. The truck has 233 on the odometer, but it doesn't work anymore, so it could only, we have no clue. It could be 300, it could be 400. Now, we do have another issue, which is this little valve inside of here is leaking fuel, which is a common issue. And it's not that big of a deal, because I do plan on throwing a Weber on just to get rid of the stock carb, because I just hate these things. I don't know how to work on them, and they're super just weird. We ended up blowing out the bowl in here. We took this off and blew some air in there, and then a bunch of crap came out of there. So now we have fuel obviously getting into the bowl. We have fuel coming up here. The new fuel pump is on. It fires up. And now we are going to, I'm going to go drive it around and see if it doesn't overheat or if it works, if everything is good. Oil looks dirty, but it's there. It has, oil. I do need to do an oil change, but once again, I want to make sure that it's good before I do an oil change, and turns out that the motor is bad. So time for a little quick test drive. That's this on recording? And it's hard to drive with no power steering and stick shift. Oh. That's got a blown head gasket. God damn it. Oh man, that is quite the bummer. Now, I'm sorry I wasn't able to get a video on landscape. It was just me and my buddies. My buddy was the one filming, and he just whipped out his phone real quick. And the video that you guys just saw is what I recorded and what I recorded on my phone. So, sadly, as you guys saw, we do have some sort of head gasket failure. Now, I don't know exactly what happened or anything like that. The previous owner didn't mention anything like that, so I'm not sure if he knew or didn't. Regardless, it doesn't matter. We have a head gasket leak. So for those who don't know what that white smoke means, it's burning coolant, which is obviously not ideal. What that means is coolant is seeping through the gasket and going into the cylinder, which is then burning it and blowing all that smoke. So now we're left, well, I'm left with a couple of decisions. Do I want to rip the motor out right now and no sense? And okay, let's just start from the very cheapest option, what I think is the cheapest option, easiest option. I can go to the store and get some of that head gasket liquid fixer stuff. I'm not sure what it's called, but you pour it into your cooling system and it essentially clogs up the leak and it fixes your leak temporary. So this, and I think, is the cheapest and easiest option. I think it's about 30 bucks, and if it works, then it's done. All you can do is pour it in there and turn your engine on, and it seals it up itself. You don't have to do anything. Second option is to take the head off the motor, slap a head gasket, new one on there, and then don't touch anything else. Just throw a head gasket. Don't even machine the motor. Don't even do nothing. Just the head gasket and throw it on. And there's also another option, which is to do it the right way and rebuild the whole entire motor, since it has a lot of miles and it burns oil. From what I remember, it burned oil. And rebuild it from scratch and throw all new gaskets, fix it all, and fix it that way. Or do I just call it quits on the Z20 and throw in a Z24, which is what this truck should have came with from factory? I'm honestly open to whatever. I don't really know exactly what I want. This is all still super new to me. Like I keep saying, I wasn't planning to build this truck, so this is all like just coming at me out of nowhere. Now, the previous owner did tell me it didn't ran. So in my head, I assumed that the motor was bad and I was needing to buy a new motor, which I have already been looking at a couple of motors, and I have a couple that I have kind of lined up, I guess you can say. So eventually this truck is going to get a new Z24. I don't really want to swap in a KA or a K series Honda motor or an RB or an SR. I don't want to swap another motor into this truck, just because this truck was never, in my eyes, was never supposed to be designed to go fast and to rip around and stuff like that. If I was to do a swap, it would be my hard body, which is a boosted KA right now. So if I were to do a swap, I'd do a V8 swap on that, or I'd do an SR swap. I do some sort of swap, but I do it on that, not on this. This to me is just a classic cruiser that I don't need to go fast. So that is also why I put a Z24 in my other 720. But what I wanted to say is eventually this truck is going to get a new Z24 when I do shave the bay and do all of my custom work. So it is going to happen, but I was just hoping that this motor could kind of, you know, hold on to life a little bit longer, just to kind of help me stretch out that whole process of swapping in a new motor. It can be done, and if I have to, then I will, but I was hoping that I can just kind of hop in the truck and drive it around and enjoy it while I get the other motor and piece it together and get all my parts. So I could just pull this motor out, put the other one in, and be done. But if that's not the case, then it looks like I'll have to take the motor out, store the truck somewhere, and then build a new motor and then throw it into the truck. But I want to know what you guys think I should do. Should I try the cheapest and easiest option, which is that liquid head gasket fixture stuff? Should I put a new head gasket in there, or should I rebuild the Z20? Or should I just pull the trigger and get the Z24? I'd like to get this truck going as soon as possible, but once again, like I keep saying, this was never in my future plan to build another truck. So it's not that easy to just have a bunch of projects already lined up and everything is going according to schedule, and then a new project comes out of nowhere, which is a project that in my eyes is more important than the rest, but it came out of nowhere. So I have all the other projects lined up. I'm going with my schedule. Everything is nice and good, but this thing kind of threw me off. So hopefully in the next video we can get this thing running, I hope. Yeah, I guess just stay tuned for more videos on this truck. I do have a lot more. This is just a temporary fix just so I can drive it and enjoy it, but trust me, this truck is going to get a full rebuild, frame off, brand new, everything. Every single bolt is going to be new on this truck, just because this was my first truck and I want to build it from the ground up, just because I know I'm never going to sell this truck. All my other cars, for the right price, you know, they're for sale. If someone offers me the right amount, what I think I've put into them, I will sell them. But this one, I won't sell it ever again. Not even if someone offers me $50,000. I'll never sell it again. I already screwed up once. I'm not going to screw up again. But yeah, if you guys want to see the story, if you guys didn't watch the previous video, I'd recommend that you guys check that video out. It explains as to how I got ownership of my truck once again and all of that. But with all that being said, I hope you guys are excited for the future uploads. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to put it down in the comment section below, where I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. In case you guys want to check out some more mini truck content, I would recommend that you guys check out the channel. I have a couple other mini trucks that I'm currently building. Peace out, guys.